Hello to all DC fans. Welcome to the DC Station channel. Today we're going to talk about one of the bravest and most mysterious characters in the DC universe, a warrior who has lived many times throughout history and fought with power and courage in every era. Today, we're going to introduce Hawkgirl. Stay with us. Hawkgirl is the alias of several different characters in the DC universe, but the most important of them are two, Sherera Hall and Kendra Saunders. These characters are each, in a way, versions of an ancient woman who has been reborn many times throughout history and is always involved in difficult and fateful battles. The first version we should mention is Sherera Hall. She is actually a version of an Egyptian warrior named Sherera who lived in ancient times. Long ago, Sherera fell in love with an Egyptian prince named Khufu, but due to the jealousy of a priest named Hatshepsut, both of them were killed. However, thanks to a magical force called nth metal, their souls entered the cycle of reincarnation, and thus, history is full of the rebirths of this character. Hawkgirl comes from generations of warriors and heroes who have always been involved in battles against evil and darkness. In each reincarnation, she is born anew, but always faces parts of her past that remain partially in her memory. These features make Hawkgirl not only a hero but also a symbol of complex destinies. Hawkgirl's powers go far beyond those of an ordinary warrior. She always flies with her large wings, which not only serve as a means of movement but also act as a strategic weapon in aerial battles. Hawkgirl's wings are made from nth metal, a legendary metal with special properties. This metal can reduce the effects of gravity and even harm magical attacks and superhuman powers. But her powers aren't just limited to her wings. Hawkgirl is always a trained warrior with excellent hand-to-hand combat skills. Alongside these, she always carries her powerful weapon, a mace made from nth metal. This mace not only has high physical strength but can also repel magical energies and help in fighting supernatural enemies. One of Hawkgirl's most unique traits is her warrior spirit. She always fights bravely and relentlessly, even when she must struggle with the complex thoughts and feelings of her past. This trait, especially when facing dangerous and ruthless enemies, makes her a true hero. Hawkgirl is not only an independent hero but has also been a member of major teams like the Justice League and Justice Society of America. One of her most important relationships in the DC universe is with Hawkman. These two characters have fallen in love many times throughout history, but their love has always faced great challenges, including death, misfortune, and reincarnation. One of the interesting aspects of Hawkgirl is that despite her extraordinary powers and abilities, she always suffers from the heavy burden of past memories and multiple lives. This makes her character deeper and known as a seasoned hero with inner pain. Hawkgirl has also fought alongside various teams like Justice League Unlimited against major threats and has always played a key role in global battles. Although Hawkgirl has had a strong presence in animations and comics, she still hasn't had the opportunity to appear in the DC cinematic universe. However, there's a possibility that in the near future, we'll see her appear on the big screen. In fact, in upcoming DCU movies, Isabella Merced is expected to play the role of Hawkgirl. These films could pave the way for more complex and engaging stories about Hawkgirl and the DC world. Also, in TV series like Justice League Unlimited, Hawkgirl was introduced as a powerful and at the same time deep character. Fans have always been interested in seeing more of her life story and reincarnations, and it is hoped that with new films, we'll see more of her character. Hawkgirl is one of the beloved characters of the DC universe with a strong presence in comics and many fascinating and deep stories written about her. Here are some of the best comics where Hawkgirl appears. 1. Hawkgirl, 2006. This comic, which is known as a reboot for the character of Hawkgirl, explores the life of Kendra Saunders in detail. In this comic, Kendra struggles with her identity and powers while trying to deal with her complex past and various reincarnations. Hawkgirl is considered a good starting point for getting to know her world, independently from Hawkman. 2. Justice League, The Tower of Babel, 2000. This is one of the most iconic Justice League stories in which Hawkgirl, as a member of the League, fights against major threats. In this story, Ra's al Ghul, Hawkgirl's tough enemy, challenges the League with complex strategies, and Hawkgirl plays a key role in the battle against him. Tower of Babel is a fan-favorite DC story that showcases Hawkgirl's bravery and strategic thinking. 3. Hawkworld, 1989. This comic is known as one of the most important for Hawkgirl's history. In this story, Hawkgirl, along with Hawkman, is reintroduced into a new world and mysteries from her past are revealed. Hawkworld especially focuses on Hawkgirl's background and her relationship with Hawkman, and it pays great attention to her ancient history. 4. JSA, 2000-2006. In this comic, Hawkgirl is a member of the Justice Society of America, JSA, and, alongside other classic DC heroes, fights global and supernatural threats. JSA introduces many characters, and Hawkgirl plays the role of an experienced and veteran warrior. Her relationship with Hawkman and her teamwork with other heroes are highlights of this comic. 5. The Brave and the Bold number 34, 1961. This comic marks one of Hawkgirl's first appearances in the DC universe and was published alongside new stories for both Hawkman and Hawkgirl. In this issue, Hawkgirl and Hawkman fight powerful enemies as a team. This comic, which pioneered Hawkgirl's presence in DC stories, gave her character its main shape and traits. Hawkgirl is not just a warrior hero, she is a symbol of power, destiny, and also pain and redemption. A character who has been involved in great battles from ancient times to today and is always in search of freedom and redemption from the cycle of reincarnation. If you also want to see more of this complex and brave character in the DC cinematic universe, be sure to write your opinion in the comments. And don't forget that if you liked this video, like and subscribe because we're going to share more DC characters with you very soon. See you in the next video.